Hello, friends. How are you all? Hope you are doing great at various aspects of your lives. Welcome to another book review podcast by ThinkerViews. We are fortunate to have a hobby of reading. Since we started sharing our personal and unbiased views and reviews for the books and other stuff, we got a chance to read or watch or enjoy. The joy got multifold. During this journey, we found many talented authors, popular and yet to be. Regardless of their popularity status, some of them have delivered some fantastic works which we enjoyed reading. Mainak Dhar is one such author. We got a chance to read many books penned by him, including Sniper's Eye, Sniper's Date, Sniper's Quest, In Enemy Hands, Alice in Deadland Trilogy Book 1. We also had an interaction with him in the form of an author interview. I will put in the links to all these reviews and the interview in the description below for your quick reference. Currently, we are reading his latest thriller series, Unit 22 Thrillers. We have already shared our views and reviews for the first 3 installments of the same. They are the first Assassin, the second Fugitive, the third Survivor, and today we are going to talk about the 4th book in the series, the 4th Traitor. We believe that one shouldn't judge a book by its cover firmly. At the same time, we also acknowledge the importance of a well-designed cover page and its influence on a remarkable number of purchase and or read decisions. The logic is pretty simple. We are attracted towards the beauty by nature. So, an attractive cover page can successfully grab our attention towards the book by ignoring other books with lesser attractive covers. Of course, the story and how it is written are the most important aspects of the book, but they would be known only when you pick it or somebody recommends it to you. As you can see in the podcast cover, the cover page of the 4th Traitor is really attractive. Designed with the right color combination, this book cover has shown an illustration of a running man on the path of cottages at the seashore. If you watch travelogues, you will clearly connect it with the similar setup at Maldives. And this place plays quite an important role in the story. The letters 4th, shown from the sniper's scope, adds to the impact of the cover page. I like it. Let me know what you think about it. Now let us take a bird's eye view of the book plot. Aditya Sen is now getting over his cathisophobia. Really? And work on the desk from his not so fancy office in the basement of a government building in New Delhi with his team of buddies. He is called in by his superior to inform that he has to visit a friendly country. Actually, he has to officially go there and take part in some joint army training stuff. The friendly country's government has a really small armed forces and they are not really war trained. The joint training sessions are planned to seek 2 advantages: get trained from battle experienced Indian soldiers and show some power to nuisance creating elements in the light of upcoming regime deciding situations there. Over the course of the story, you will meet with Aditya Sen, Malini, Srini Iyer, Ashok Atri, Eli Shani, Shwetab, Salil Murthy, Ankit Sharma, Major Nasir Ahmad, Lieutenant Jamil, Swati Kant, Major General Fatima Sharif, Bilal Shamim, Hina, Aryaman, and others. For thrillers like this, the story must have been gripping and layered. In fact, the layers should be managed like that of an onion, and they have to be unmasked one after the other at regular intervals to keep the book gripping. The author has done it quite authentically. Many authors paint the characters in the book white or black. That has its own effect, of course, But when you paint them with the shades of grey, they look more real and relatable. Mainak Dhar, now a master storyteller, knows this fact and plays accordingly. The protagonist has his strengths and vulnerabilities both, and so does the other characters. Often, such book focuses more on the thrills, chases, actions, and suspense. In this book, we find the right dose of emotions also. I like the way the characters of Aditya's mother is developed and presented throughout the series. Here are some lines from the book showing the bond between mothers and duo. Quoting, teaching me to treasure what I had and build for the future, instead of just fretting about what I had lost. That was Ma. She knew me better than anyone else in the world and knew what I did better than anyone else. She, and it continues, with Ma, there were no filters. No need for me to pretend to be anything or anyone other than what and who I really was. No matter where I had to go on my missions, no matter how tough those were, no matter how terrified I felt at times out there, and no matter how uncertain things looked when the bullets were flying, this was the one place I always felt safe, always felt I could be myself, always felt loved. It is obvious to expect some technical terms used by the investigation agencies. IMINT in our lingo meant imagery intelligence. In simple terms, a drone, a recon plane, or a satellite had taken images of some people who seemed to be up to no good. HUMINT in our lingo meant human intelligence. With the advancement of technologies, on one hand, the things get easier for the operatives, on the other, they are introduced with new challenges. The following lines gives contemporariness to the book, quoting, the biggest danger to covert ops in today's world is not a spy satellite or enemy spies, but a kid with a smartphone. In today's world, whoever gets their vision of the truth out first on Twitter is believed. My favorite TV anchor, often ridiculed for how loud he was, but whose heart I thought was firmly in the right place. The nation wants to know what extent the. And it continues. I think you must have guessed the right source of inspiration for this last quote, right? Here are some interesting lines about combat techniques. Quoting, it was a good plan, but as someone once said, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. Before engaging an enemy, it is always a good idea to take stock of where you stand versus them. Unfortunately, the real world doesn't always mirror what you see in the movies, especially when it comes to combat. That is what often happens in combat. The young, the eager, and the stupidly brave go down first. Confidence was good in any soldier, but overconfidence was not. Overconfidence is what usually gets you killed. Patience, something I always had in short supply as a young man, and perhaps the most important thing I learned in my time in the army. Having the international canvas, the book refers to various secret agencies around the world, quoting, Shayatet 13 was a secretive special force unit of the Israeli Defense Forces. I just spoke with the NSA and he said that the government is okay with a weapons malfunction that results in accidental firing of a Hellfire missile from a Reaper over international waters. The real warriors never underestimate their enemies, and they do appreciate the opponent's strength, technique, and valor. Quoting, whoever has made that move was a bloody genius, and I mentally kicked myself for focusing only on the ramp and ignoring the walkway behind us. Yes. It is seldom you find such interesting lines for heroes in espionage thrillers. This book has its share of the same. Quoting, The real heroes are often the most ordinary men who decide to stand up to be counted. Being a hero has nothing to do with how many people you have killed. Every time you kill someone, you lose a little bit of yourself. And here is a pro tip that I'm sure you will like to remember. Here is a pro tip. If you want to guess who the resident spy is at a consulate or embassy, start by looking at the guys who are supposedly there to promote cultural exchange or share agricultural best practices. The protagonist is quite confident about his luck and fate, quoting, I should have known my holiday wouldn't last that long. And he modestly shows off his knowledge through our favorite lines like, see, even simple soldiers like me know a bit or two about fancy things like geopolitics. See, even a simple soldier like me knows a thing or two about misdirection. See, even an ordinary grunt like me knows a thing or two about chemistry. We find similar lines in other books of the series as well. Here is how we get information about various characters of Unit 22. Quoting, Kishore, Pratap and Bahadur were the sword arm of our team. Shweta, we are not like regular army units. I am the boss, but you are the expert at what you do. You tell me what will help you get the job done, and I will support you. There is no textbook to follow and no superiors to get alignment from. Sen, you still are ever the charmer. I reckon you just pissed her off. Enemies who are pissed off often make mistakes. Shweta, do your magic. Remember, a sniper is not a weapon, it's a person. How badly are you hurt? Kishore gritted his teeth. Boss, my ego is hurt more than my foot. Kishore had done this many times in exercises and in actual combat, but even the best of us occasionally fell prey to bad timing or just plain bad luck. Only making the protagonist stronger and other characters mere sidekicks makes the story unbalanced and often doesn't go well with seasoned readers. As you can see in the quotes mentioned earlier, the author has given all the characters their own strengths. The characters can evaluate the situation quite well and even know how to represent their point of view in different geopolitical scenarios. For example, quoting again from the book, that is what the Chinese don't get. They think in terms of material gains, objectives, and progress. They totally underestimate the role family and relationships play. That is what our people in India and the Maldives have much more in common. Sir, they wouldn't have to come all the way in a tanker. They could deploy zodiacs from pretty far out and eat up the distance. Like many other Indian authors, Mainak also uses the words like anyways in his book. Based on its popularity, though, I think they should be part of the dictionary now. I have tried to keep the discussion spoiler free, but I am sure that you must have got a fair idea about the literary qualities of the book through the quotes referred so far. In summary, if you like to read espionage thrillers, you will love reading the fourth Traitor, the fourth installment in the Unit 22 thrillers book series. From Team ThinkerViews, I would love to give it around 8 stars out of 10.
So, have you already read the book? Are you planning to read it? What do you think about this book review? Do you find it helpful in deciding whether to go for the book or not? Please do share your genuine remarks via comments below. If you have enjoyed listening to the review, please hit the like button and do not forget to share it with your friends and other fellows whom you think such reviews interest more. Till we meet with our next podcast, bye bye, take care, namaskar.